Hi guys, this is Ranjit and this is the June Tech Q&A session. And yes, I was not feeling well, had COVID, still recovering, but I thought let's do the Q&A. And guys, I've taken a little bit less questions. Generally, I take about 25, just about half of them. But let's get on with this one. And this can be interesting because I've taken a variety of questions, not just smartphone related questions. So let's get on with this. And the first question I got is a laptop related question. He says, Mohit, Samsung laptop Book 2 Bro 360 is a good buy. My use is purely office use. Considering the cost is really good, buy, or is there any other alternative? Mohit, I just want to ask you, do you really need that convertible? Because that 360 is that 2-in-1. If you don't care about that 360 thing, I would say stick to the regular Galaxy Book 2 or the Galaxy Book 2 Pro. If you really want that lightweight, the Galaxy Book 2 Pro was very good. In fact, I had both the Galaxy Book 2 360 Pro and the regular Galaxy Book 2 Pro, and I like the regular Book 2 Pro because how light it was. So decide if you are going to use it in the tablet form factor. I would say both were reviewing it. Sadly, it went back. I couldn't do a full review, but for what it was, that laptop, it was a decent one, I would say, considering how light they were for the specs. Okay, let's move to the next one. This is by Mr. Chakrabarti. He says, are you still using the S22 Ultra? How's the overall performance and battery life? Is battery life as good as the iPhone 13 Pro? I actually never used the S22 Ultra as my primary phone. Only when during the initial unboxing period, I used it for 3-4 days and never actually used it as a primary smartphone. I always used the Samsung Galaxy S22 Plus. So I haven't used it on a daily basis. But as far as I remember, when I used it, in terms of comparison to the iPhone 13 Pro, my secondary SIM is always in the iPhone 13 Pro. Definitely the iPhone 13 Pro gets better battery life compared to the S22 Ultra. I hope it helps. In fact, if you go with the Max, iPhone 13 Pro Max, that has an insane battery life. But even the regular iPhone 13 Pro, the battery life is insane. That is one of the big difference, I would say, from the iPhone 12 versions to the 13, the battery life. This is by Kunal. He's asking, what are your thoughts on the Samsung 2022 Q Series soundbars? I asked this because no Indian tech YouTuber has published reviews of the budget Q Series soundbar like the Q600, 700, 800. I was interested in buying one of these soundbar, but no reviews. I couldn't decide. I actually own one of the flagships about 2 years ago, the Q950T. Check my channel, Samsung soundbar Q950T. That's the highest end. That time, about 2.5 years ago, I was debating between the Bose soundbar and this one, and I found the Samsung one to be better for my needs. And in fact, it worked out to be a lot cheaper than the Bose, and in fact, offered Atmos and stuff. And I still have that soundbar. It was the flagship at that time, Q950T, and it's fabulous. You also have that Q. That Q means Q Symphony. So if you have a latest Samsung, what do you say, that QLED TV range or whatever, the sound you can output directly from the soundbar, or you can also include the built-in speakers for better effect. I am not using it with the, what do you say, built-in TV, but just using the sound from the soundbar, and it's actually really good. In fact, there is a requirement for me for my new setup. I might be looking at the new range of 2022, but I'll again be going with the flagship because I want it to be a permanent kind of a setup. But again, that Q means that Q Symphony. The only big difference is that if you have a Samsung own QLED TV or something, it will work in conjunction with the built-in speakers of that TV. You can disable that functionality, but as a regular soundbar, actually it works very well, and I'm actually using it as a regular soundbar without that Q Symphony features. In fact, turned out to be much better, at least the Q950D. I don't know about the budget range series. This is by Vikas. Hi Ranjit, hope you and your family are recovering well. Yes, sort of recovering, not completely, but yeah, on the way, I would say. Thank you for asking. Wanted to know if there is any alternative that comes to a iWatch, that is an Apple Watch, in the Android space. A friend has built a Samsung ecosystem of watches and phone, but wanted to know your thoughts. Because I'll be very blunt, if you want that seamless ecosystem, and if you are using an iPhone and something, the Apple Watch, nothing even comes close to the Apple Watch. And I've tried everything. For example, this is the Garmin watch. This is a very expensive, about 99,000 rupees a watch, but still this also does not come anywhere close to the Apple Watch. The closest I would say in the Android ecosystem is the Galaxy Watch series that you get, but again, the fit and finish and still the ecosystem ecosystem that we have in the Apple Watch is still miles better that we get with the Galaxy Watch. So again, I'll be very blunt. If you want the best smartwatch and you can charge it every day, then there is no competition as of now to the Apple Watch. But on Android, if you're using an Android phone, of course, it doesn't work with the Apple Watch. So the nearest competitor that you have is the Galaxy Watch series that you can have a look at that. Anyways, moving to the next one. This is by Mr. Bakshi. He's saying the smartphone market is getting way too saturated and the new launches on the smartphones are not that impressive, to be honest. Yes, I agree. Can you tell us what companies need to make the market interesting again and as it was in the earlier days? Mr. Bakshi, I think so. Just too many senseless, mindless launches are happening, and these brands are hyping it like this is the best next thing to the sliced bread. Whereas it's not. It's the same damn smartphone, just changing the camera from 2 megapixel from here to here or doing something else. The same stuff. So I think so now users also, we as reviewers have gotten bored of it. Users have got bored of it and they're just milking the same cat again and again. There is hardly any innovation. In fact, brands should cut down on the amount of models that they are launching. It's seriously irritating. Earlier it was good. Smartphone brands, most of them used to have clear distinction, at least in budget range and the mid-range. They used to release one or good two models. In mid-range, one very solid product, and in the higher end, of course, 1 or 2 products. But now it's so diluted. In mid-range they'll launch 5 odd products. In the budget range they'll launch 4 or 5 products. In the higher end, plus, pro, ultra, god knows what. So it's so confusing right now, and I think the users are also sort of fed up with this gimmicks and overhyping of stuff that has become so common these days. That's why these days I'm not that interested and excited about new smartphone launches, because they hype it so much that when the smartphone comes out, the reality is so different, and I frankly get disappointed. Anyways, moving to the next one. This is by Mr. Shukla, wishing you for a speedy recovery. Thank you. As you mentioned before, you try to apply a OT update, wait around for 45 days as it appears on the device. How do you decide it's safe or not, or breaking the device? Again, you have to wait, because when a new OT update comes, especially on Android phones, there is no guarantee that what that update is going to do. And we have seen on many of the Android smartphones, it's not only from like Chinese OEMs, but even established vendors from like Samsung, etc. After users are applying that update, the some motherboards are having issues, the display starts to have issues and stuff like that. So it's become very common now. So that is the reason I tell even to my relatives, when you get an OT update, just don't rush out and put it out, man. What is the big deal about it? Your phone is working perfectly fine. What will this update do? These updates are actually crippling the devices, and that's a fact. So just wait for a month or so, check the forums or something, because sometimes the update only after a couple of days starts giving problems. And you have seen with the Galaxy S20 Plus, many users, after the update, the smartphone's display started to having problems. For example, it's not just software issues, but even hardware issues. And we have seen with a lot of other vendors that the motherboard just started to having issues. The phone became so sluggish, and when you go to the service center, they say the motherboard is damaged. So this is happening a lot, and it is not just restricted to a mid-range smartphone or something. This is even having to flagship. So I would say be very careful. If you have an Android phone and that's slightly old, when you get an OT update, be very careful. I've warned you guys so many times. It happened in our own family also. Okay, moving to the next one. This is by Mr. Ankit Sharma. He says, great fan of your content. Thank you. What do you think about streaming sticks like Amazon Fire TV, Me TV Stick, Apple TV Box, where they stand in the age of smart TVs? What are your top 3 picks of streaming boxes or sticks? Other options can be introduced. Ankit, to be very frank, I had tested a few of these Amazon Fire Stick or even the Me Stick Extra earlier, but not from the past 2.5 years. If you notice, I haven't covered them because most of the smart TVs, even the budget-oriented smart TVs that are less than 15,000, have all these smart features integrated. So if you're having a new TV or something like that, it does not make sense to buy this. The last one that I've used personally was the Amazon Fire Stick. In fact, it's on my dad's TV. It's a Samsung TV that was not smart, and still we are using that and it works fine. But we didn't bother to upgrade with the latest one because the old one still works fine. So again, I feel this has become sort of a very niche market. If you have a very old TV that does not have smart features or something, then you can go with these ones because the TV might be perfectly working fine. So that was the case with it. The Samsung TV that we have is picture quality, everything is working perfectly, but because it's become so old, some that smart features are irrelevant. That's why that smart Amazon Fire Stick makes sense on that. But again, if you have a modern TV, these don't make sense. Anyways, moving to the next one. This is from Mr. Ayer. Please recommend a TV. Requirement is to watch movies in the best resolution and to play games on PS5, Xbox. Need to be smart TV as well. Screen size 55 to 60 inches, which should be ideal for my home. If recommending Chinese brand, how safe are they? Okay, let's first talk about sizes, because I have multiple screens. For example, we have 55-inch TV in a house, 65 and even 75. And I would say for most of them, most of you guys, the sweet spot is between 55 to 65. The 75 becomes just too big in my frank opinion. So again, based on your area, what you have the screen, 55 should be good enough. But if you have a slightly larger space or something, a 65 might even do good, because these days the pricing premium for the 65 is not that high. The 75 is still very high, so look for that. Of course, it will be a 4K TV. No need to go with the 8K as of now. And if you want that future proofing, make sure it supports HDMI 2.1 because that will support 120 Hz, which the new consoles like the PS5 and the Xbox will support. So look at that. Again, there will be a premium. Most of the budget TVs won't do that, but again, invest in a good TV. And I would say, if you don't like changing your TVs for 4 or 5 years and want to keep like that, for example, whenever I invest in a TV, I invest in good TVs, and my TVs we generally change once in about 8-9 years. And we had very good luck with Samsung, Sony and LG TVs. Not that good luck with the Chinese counterparts. We had to change it after 2.5 years. I'll be very blunt about that. Anyways, moving to the next one. This is by Sarkar. With so many Moto devices out there, which one would be the best mid-range, premium mid-range on the Moto to go for? Sarkar, with Moto, at least for the G series, it's very simple. It's the naming. For example, let's say it's the 30 series, let's say 31. Then they have the 5 series, 51, 52, like that. The higher the series goes, the more premium it is. So it's very simple. The Moto G31 will be the basic. The G52 would be the mid-ranger. The 72 or the 81, 82, what is the current one, is the flagship. So with the G series, it's very simple. It's the number thing that you're looking at. The first number specifies which range it is. The 3 means lower range, 5 is in the middle, and of course the higher one, 7, 8, it's on the slightly on the top end. Again, with the G series, you won't get the cutting edge processor. For that, you'll have to move to the Edge series. The Edge series are the sort of the premium one in the Moto range. I hope that answers the question. This is by Mr. Kumar. He says, hi sir, can you tell us, is it worth investing over $1 lakh for an Android phone, example the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra, or stick with iPhone? Okay, let me answer this question, because I'm getting this question a lot from you guys, and I would say, at least I'll give you my example of what I would do in my family, seeing the situation of the Android phone updates that is happening. And I'll give you my personal example. For example, my nephew had the what is that, OnePlus 7 Pro, working perfectly fine. Just after the OTA update, the phone became slow, sluggish. After 3 days it died. We went to the service center, needs to change the motherboard, they said. For example, my wife had the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. The phone was working perfectly fine. And I had warned my wife. She said one update was coming. I told her not to update it. But I don't know, she forgot about it, but accidentally clicked on that update or whatever. And the phone got updated. And after just 2 days, the display of the phone completely died. So I don't get it. What is happening with Android updates? And I'm not just specific to one brand, happening a lot with Chinese brands and even with premium brands like Samsung. So I would say I cannot vouch for the longevity of an Android phone as of now, considering various examples that I've seen in my own family. So I would say, if you are a person, and I know, for example, my friends and some elders also, when they ask me to buy a new phone, I know these guys don't want to upgrade every 2 years or 3 years. They want to keep it for 4 years. And for them, all of them, I am recommending them now an iPhone. Because personally, I know we have iPhones in our family that are almost 6 years old and still they are working perfectly fine. Don't need to upgrade. That simply is not the case now with most of the Android phone, even the flagship ones. That is the reason. I would say, if you're changing a phone every 2 years, fine, go with an Android phone. Most of the Android phones will last for that time. But now the problem is with some of the OTA updates after 1.5, 2 years, these manufacturers are releasing so bad updates on Android phones that they are actually breaking the devices, having physical problems with the devices. That is not the case with the iPhones as of now. So I would say I would go with an iPhone, because if I know a person who's not that interested in changing the phone, he wants the longevity of, let's say I've invested a lakh, I want the phone to last for 4-5 years. If that kind of a person, then I would recommend the iPhone for you. And that's the reason my second phone is still, I'm keeping the iPhone 13 Pro. Guys, I still even have the iPhone 10R and works perfectly fine. There is no slowdown or anything like that. And that's the beauty with an iPhone. You buy an iPhone, you're not compelled to buy the next version, because the UI and general operations is almost the same as your older iPhone, apart from 1 or 2 new bells and whistles. Anyways, moving to the next one. This is by I am Shubhisham. I'm a bit more curious about the Nothing phone. He says, what are your thoughts about the phone? As the hype is so much in the market, want to know your thoughts. Yes, the Nothing phone has a lot of hype, and I think so. That is what that company knows to do that. They are the masters of hyping things, and that's what they are doing right now, teasing stuff in small doses and stuff like that to create your curiosity. But to be very frank, even MKBHD posted a video, and I did not see that video because I just don't want to fall in for that hype. So whenever that phone will come out, I will look at it. I'm trying to keep all the hype aside, because as I've told you guys, I'm fed up of this hyping of stuff that is going on in the market. I know the phone should be pretty good. It'll be having the Snapdragon 7 Gen 1, so that's a good processor. First time it will be coming on the Nothing phone. So it's sort of the replacement of the Snapdragon 778, which was supposed to be a very good processor. So processor-wise, it will be very good. And I think so, the Nothing phone will get a lot of basics right, but it'll be very interesting to see how do they price it in India, as they're going to build it in India. So I think so the pricing, at least in India, will be aggressive. Anywhere from 30 to 35,000 is my ballpark guess. But whenever the product comes out, let's see how it is. Just don't want to comment about it based on the hypes and the leaks that are going on. This is by Mr. Kokant. He says, I'm planning to buy a MacBook Air M2 from my old Windows laptop. Should I wait for the rumored 15-inch M2 Air? I need a dual monitor support and don't want the MacBook Pro as it's bulky. It will be used for coding, browsing, YouTubing, etc. No heavy use. The thing is that, as you tell, you're waiting for the 15-inch MacBook Air. That's rumored, guys. It's just Apple rumors, based on Apple rumors. Sometime in 2023 you'll get. But as you've told, you want dual monitor support. The thing is that Apple on the MacBook Air series do not provide you support for dual monitor support. That is reserved for the Pro and the higher end series. Even with the new MacBook Air M2, you can only connect one external monitor. You cannot connect 2 external monitors. So if you want to connect 2 external monitors, you will have to go to the Pro series. So be aware of that. And I think so that's how Apple is differentiating their products. If you want those dual monitor setups, you are sort of a Pro user, so they are pushing you to the Pro. So even if the MacBook Air 15-inch comes out rumored whatever in 23, I don't think so Apple will support natively dual monitor support on that one. They'll restrict it to the Pro series. That's my frank opinion. Even in the Pro series, for example, this is the MacBook Pro 16-inch I have with the and it's not the M1 Max. The M1 Max supports 3 monitors. This one supports only 2. So if I want 3 monitors, I would have to go for the Max chip. So that's how Apple is differentiating their products. Okay, this is the last question, so let's get on with this. And even my throat is hurting, so let's end this. This is by the Varsh. What can we expect from the Snapdragon 7 Gen 1, which is coming in the Nothing Phone 1? Also, what about the Service Center India, considering it's a new and independent company? A very interesting question. Yes, I'm pretty sure in terms of performance, the Snapdragon 7 Gen 1 should be very good. As I've told you, it's a replacement of the Snapdragon 778. But again, guys, this chipset won't be exclusive to the Nothing Phone. The first smartphone in India that will be coming out will be the Nothing Phone, but I'm pretty sure after that, many of the other vendors like maybe Samsung, Motorola and others will come out with the other phones with the Snapdragon 7 Gen 1. But yeah, regarding service centers, that is a big question mark with the Nothing Phone, because this is a totally new brand and not part of the Oppo BBK group. So how will they provide service in case of issues throughout India is going to be a big question mark. Let's see what they do. So I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. As I've told you, when the phone comes out, I'll definitely try to cover it, and then we'll know a lot more. So anyways guys, that's it for now for this tech Q&A session. And if you guys are still not subscribed to the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care guys.